Alright guys, so we got a new video. Today what we're going to be doing is working on my friend Adrian's car. This is a 2017, but we're going to be upgrading the intake manifold to a 2018. We're going to also be putting a cold air intake onto it. We're putting 47-pound injectors on there. This car also has headers onto it, and it's going to be data logged by Lund. First, what we're going to have to do is remove the stock intake box, which as you can see we already have half of it out. You have to remove the strut brace to make things a lot easier when removing the intake manifold. Remove the rest of the intake. So first thing we got to do is remove the intake manifold. But before we do that, we're going to have to remove the strut brace, which are just two deep socket 16s. Remove the intake. And then once you do that, you got to remove all the vacuum lines. And the only tricky part when it comes to the intake manifold is there are two sensors in the rear end, which are somewhat difficult to take out, but some people tend to rip them, so you got to be real careful when removing those two. Alright, so we got the throttle body out, and then right here, what we're doing is we just disconnected the fuel line. What you do is just lift up this tab and pull. You're going to want to rag because some S550s squirt, some just ooze out a little, like this one was a little oozer.
A little cream pie action.
Yeah, a little cream pie action. Alright, so now that this is loosened, we're going to hit these 4 bolts on the top to remove the fuel rail, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we got the fuel rail out, and now we're going to begin on the injectors. Now, the injectors do have like a locking mechanism on the top. What you got to do is just grab a flathead and literally just pop it forward, and then the injector would easily just slide out. Then you replace it with a new one and put the locking mechanism back in. And they only go in one way, so you can't really mess it up. So let's get to it on that. All the bolts around the manifold, there should be 3 on each side. Once you do that, you want to make sure all the vacuum hoses are undone. And then now you want to lift it up and you pull it forward slightly because you still have 2 wires connected in the back. Okay, as you can see it right there, that clip. It does have a little pin on it that you have to pull out and unlock it. Once you pull out this little tab, it will come out, and you have one of these on each side. The 2 wires on each side have been undone now. Now you just have to undo the wiring harness. They are just clipped on. You literally just got to pull them out. Okay, so as you can see, here goes the back portion of it. Here goes the one clip, and then the other one's somewhere around there. But as you can see, this is why you don't yank it right away. See these wires right here, where you can still mess these up. And then actually I know some people have done it on their own, which actually they tear these. They're not as long as these, so they're not as forgiving. And there we go, she's out. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the key differences. Here goes the micrometer. I'm just gonna be measuring it right there. As you can see, this is 86.15. See right here, it does not fit, but let's go with the measurement. Then these are 83. So the inlet snout on these are very different. And then now let's measure the runners. Here goes the runner for the 2017 one. I'm just gonna measure the width of it. And that's 56. And then let's measure, this is 30. Now let's go to the other one. Here we go. This is a 57, which the other one was a 56. Now let's zero that. Now let's measure this. This was a 33. The other one was a 30, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even the runners are wider in every way, and then plus, just by looking at it, they are longer. So there goes another difference. Alright, so to get everything prepared for the 2018 manifold, what you got to do, as I said previously, is you have to buy different pigtails. You got to cut these two right here to extend them to allow them to reach on the 2018 because they are located in a different spot. So that's what I'm gonna do, is just cut it and then solder it. So let's do it. Here are the differences on why you have to cut the pigtails for the other manifold. See how right here, they do not fit, they're way too big. That's why you have to buy these ones that are meant for the 2018, which will go perfectly in. Now let me see a quick. Now what we're gonna do is, see how this color combo right here, how it's technically, it would go in this way, but it doesn't because of the size. So we're basing the color off of that theory, and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm literally gonna solder it just like this, so I'm gonna let you guys know how it goes. Alright guys, so 2 days later, we're back at it. We did have some issues with the wiring. The wiring on it goes in a completely different order. I will be putting up the diagram right here. Now, as you can see, the diagram, we're gonna cut and resolder it how it's supposed to be, and then this car's already tuned, already has a tune in for it. For the past 2 days, Adrian's been lumping it around. All right, guys, so here goes the wiring for it. On the driver's side, how you want to do it is see the part that plugs into the manifold. How it's read is 1, 2, and 3. The first one right here, this one that I'm wiggling. If you run it back, this is going to be yellow green, and then the middle one is going to be yellow red, and then the third one is going to be violet blue. Now that's the order you're going to want to do. And then on the passenger side, it's the same order. You face it up, and then again 1, the middle one's 2, and then the third one over here is number 3. And number 1 right here, if we follow it back, it would be just yellow green, and then the second one is going to be the violet blue, and then the third one is going to be blue white. And that's the order you're going to want to do it in for the swap. And now we're going to go to install it, and that's the proper way to do it. There you go. Everything is basically buttoned up, all the fuel rail, everything. The only thing with this is you do need the sensor from your from the previous years, but this manifold does not have the mount for it. So as you can see, we just ran it to this hose right here, ran it back. Most of the hoses you do get a plug-in, especially down here. So for the PMOS, there is another one you can connect down here, which we did. Now we blocked off the sound tube and then this opening right here. Other than that, we were able to use everything else. And then yeah, it's turning it on. All right, guys, so everything is buttoned up. Since we disconnected the fuel pump, what you want to do is push the start button, but do not turn the car on. Because what you're doing is you're activating the fuel pump to put fuel back into the fuel rail, allowing it to start and not struggle with it. All right, so ready? All right, go. Everything seems to be running smooth. You can hear it sounding pretty well. Yeah. We're gonna let it warm up and take it out for a drive. Right now it does have a baseline tune into it. Is it running good? Yeah. No issues?
No.
Not bogging, nothing?
No.
You notice any slight differences in the throttle response or anything like that?
Yeah, touchier.
A lot touchier?
Yeah.
Yeah, that car's loud.
I told you.
Yeah. So overall, that's just gonna wrap up the install. As you see, we did have some issues with it, especially with electrical. Now here goes basically a full bolt-on S550